morning! Today is Wednesday and I thought I would do a little vlog on the road. I'm in the car, packed, ready to go to Cincinnati for a few days. This is primarily a work trip, and then at the end I tagged a day on because I haven't spent much time in Cincinnati, and we always pass through it on the way to Michigan, so why not? We've made it to Cincinnati, and it is frigid here. It is like, I'm actually concerned I'm gonna have to scrape my car tomorrow before my customer meeting, and I don't have gloves with me. Anyway, it was a rather uneventful drive, thankfully, so I am just going to get situated in the room. I've got a couple hours of work to do, and then the gal at the desk told me that the M Club opens at 5, and that means free snacks. I don't know if I need to do a hotel room tour, actually, because it's not a bad room, it's just there's nothing really special about it. Walk in and this is it. Your very classic hotel room. It has a nice little nook for my stuff. Straight ahead we have the bedroom, and then on the left we have the bathroom. Nothing remarkable. It is just a nice hotel room. I did also bring my own slippers because you cannot be in a hotel room and trust that the carpets are properly cleaned. I watched something one time about the street water in New York City and how people don't usually take their shoes off when they come into their hotel rooms, and then obviously the carpets are not like deep cleaned between each stay, and that plus being barefoot in the New York hotel room at the time, I couldn't. So now the slippers come with me every time I go anywhere. Naturally, we put a Christmas movie on as soon as we get to the hotel room because it is now December 3rd, I think we're at. That was possibly the most unenjoyable dinner I have had at a hotel in a very long time. And it had nothing to do with other people at the bar being obnoxious or anything. The bartender had the worst BO I have ever smelled. And at first I had to double take because I thought, is my food off? Did someone get something stinky around me? And then I realized every time the bartender walked by, it was this wave of, you know the smell. You know the smell when you smell it, and it's a smelly smell that is just atrocious. Anyway, I have been working on my presentation for tomorrow, and I'm feeling very good, feeling very confident, very excited. I love talking to people who are super passionate about the Nutra industry and supplements and what they're innovating, and I love learning what's going on in the new innovation. So it's going to be a good morning tomorrow, and then tomorrow evening I have another meeting. That one is a virtual situation, so I will be in this probably exact same position, just dressed a little nicer. And then I'll have more interesting things to share with you from Cincinnati on Friday because I decided to stay an extra day beyond the trip for the work portion of the trip to actually explore the city. I've driven through Cincinnati like a few dozen times at this point in my life between Nashville and family in Michigan. So I'm excited to actually explore the city, go out, find some food, hopefully see a good view of the river. I was only a little bummed that my husband suggested not staying on the Kentucky side. He said that, I believe it's called Covington, was maybe not the safest area. I don't know, maybe he has a old experience with it. So stay tuned for that. But I just need to keep rehearsing a little bit, get the word tracks, you know, if you do presentations. I don't like to have everything memorized verbatim because I feel like it sounds too robotic, but I do find that it helps with confidence in the moment or just overall flow if you've rehearsed it a few times. And it's also almost 9 o'clock and this old lady is tired. This was way too early of a wake-up call. And then apparently my husband missed his flight anyway because he went to the wrong gate. So he could have slept another hour and then I could have slept another hour. It's okay, it happens. I will likely check back in with you tomorrow, either afternoon or in the evening, because I wanna make sure I have time to get everything done, everything organized for work. That is the primary focus of this trip. And then I will circle back with you when things get interesting.
Today. Don't miss out on benefits including dental, vision, and hearing offered above.
I am back to the hotel now after a very productive morning, I think. It was a great meeting, and then I swung over to a little breakfast nook I saw across the street, had some great food, lots of coffee, and a green juice. So I am like pumped and ready for the rest of the day. I have some work I need to get done in the next couple of hours before another meeting that I have virtually this afternoon. And then I think this evening we're gonna just chill at the hotel. I'm gonna get a workout in, I'm gonna order some food, do some homework, just kind of chill here. And then tomorrow, I probably won't leave for the downtown hotel until mid-afternoon, but I have to work in the morning, and then I'll bring you with me tomorrow night when I go see what's going on in downtown Cincinnati. It is very wintry here though. Like I said, very cold, and then they got 5 or 6 inches, the people said at the meeting this morning, so there is snow on the ground, and I'm so glad that I don't live here. But I paid my dues, because I spent the first 18 years of my life in Michigan, and then the following 4 years in Minnesota, in Northwest Minnesota. So I have paid my dues, I've given my time to cold weather, and this, my blood is too thin for this, and I like the warmth of the South. Meetings are over, and as you can see, we've gone absolutely gourmet. I went to Saigon Noodle Bar and just got a chicken pho, some spring rolls, some extra Brussels sprouts, and this is gonna be my position for the next several hours. It is the next day now, and after breakfast, I spent the entire day at that spot on the couch working on homework and working and getting a bunch of loose ends tied up from the week because it is amazing. I'm like out of breath because I've been running around the hotel room. I have to be downstairs to check out in 7 minutes. So I'm gonna make this really quick, but it's amazing to me that in my line of work, how much during the week you're waiting and waiting and waiting, and then it's like on Friday, everyone gets it together, and Fridays are just impressively busy. So I'm done for the day, I'm packed up, I'm ready to go. I've got all my stuff and my little extra bag. It's really nice because I did not fly. As you know, I drove here, and I'm not used to being in a hotel where I've driven. Usually I'm flying, so I get a bonus bag that I can just throw crap in when I'm in a rush like I am now. So I will check back in with you when I am at the other hotel. I am looking a little bit ragged, but I've just arrived to my second hotel, which is actually downtown Cincinnati, and they gave me a free upgrade for my room because of Marriott status points and all that good stuff. So it's really nice though. Let me show you around. They said this is an upgraded king room, and it looks nice and spacious. I'm not entirely sure what's gone wrong with this window, but it looks like there's some kind of paper peeling outside. Like, it's not cracked. It looks like some kind of paper. But if you come into a nice window, You have almost a view of the river. It's over there. And then you can see a teeny tiny piece of the bridge there as well. I could also totally be a voyeur. There's someone's apartment down there. If you didn't watch Friends, you won't get this reference, but I feel like that could be Ugly Naked Guy's apartment, the one that was across the street from Monica and Rachel's. Maybe I have him. Maybe I have him there across from me. And then you come into the bathroom, and I like that there's actually a design on the walls. Let's see. Nope, that's not the light. There we go. You've got some sort of lace picture going on the wall. Nice massive shower. Ooh, they've given us some lovely Kevin Murphy I'm unfamiliar with, but it looks fancy. And given that this hotel is a little bit more bougie than the other Marriott, I'm excited to try those. I don't feel pretty enough right now to be in this hotel, so I'm going to shower, fix this, and then tonight I told myself I would go out to a nice dinner to celebrate the end of customer visits for 2025, the end of a successful business trip, and then I will come home, finish the paper that is due this weekend, and that's a wrap. All right, I'm not sure if you can see much of anything with the lighting in this hotel room, but this is the look for the evening. This is a little gray, like pinstripey dress from Loft, I believe. And that's it, pretty simple outfit. I just thought it would be fun to get a little dressed up and go out because I'm actually really bummed I haven't gone to New York at all this December. So I figure if my fun night out, going to a fancy restaurant by myself, has to be in Cincinnati, we're gonna do it up. She says, as if it's actually gonna be a big night out. I'm gonna go have dinner, have like one glass of wine, and then come back to the hotel because I have to sequester myself away to continue working on the paper. But in my mind, it's like the big fun night out. It is so cold. I don't even know if I can talk, if I can like form words with my lips, because it is so cold. I am back to the hotel, and it was a lovely evening out. I had a nice time at Jeff Ruby's. There was live music, and the people sitting next to me had a birthday. There were like 40 people gathered around them, and then the band sang happy birthday. So it was fun, it was nice. The food, of course, Jeff Ruby's is amazing. There's one in Nashville that my husband and I have been to. And then, because I had a spend $30, get a free 1,000 Marriott points coupon, I stopped at the hotel bar on my way back, and there was some kind of fire alarm that was going off in the hotel, so it was a little exciting. But now I'm back. I need to get changed into my comfy gym jams and do a little bit of work on my paper because I've had a very large glass of wine, maybe a couple, and maybe one more for the room. So I'm gonna get done what I can get done, and then gotta be up early tomorrow to head home. Oh, good morning. It is Saturday morning, and it is about 6:30. I wanted to get a very early start today because I have a bit of a drive ahead of me, and my husband and I have errands that we need to run this afternoon. I did get the paper done, but I went to bed around 1:15, and I don't think the espresso martini had worn off yet because I laid there for an indeterminate amount of time. And here we are. I feel surprisingly energetic this morning though. So it wasn't as bad as I was expecting. I know sometimes I wonder if, because I don't eat red meat very often, if having had a steak has given me some level of iron that I was deficient in to make me feel so good and energetic this morning. On the paper though, I have to ask if anyone has recently had to write an APA format research paper, because the information available on the internet of how to format that kind of paper is very conflicting. I'm in a rather scientific field, being that this was a pathophysiology class, and there were so many different opinions on how to write an APA format paper. Include an abstract, don't include an abstract, have an introduction and methods and results and all those different sections, or don't. Or if you did need those, it didn't specify if that's only for some kind of clinical trial or if that's for all research papers, because doing a research paper, of which my topic was PMS, that's not really applicable. So I wasn't quite sure how to format it. I did my best. One thing that is kind of amazing though, I've learned as I've gotten older, is that if I have a red wine from California, I am so stuffy and headachy and miserable the next morning. Whereas last night I was specifically drinking non-California wine because I knew I had a long drive today. So I stuck to Malbec. And I'm only a little bit sniffy and not too stuffy, if that makes sense. I will say it's kind of weird as a married person being out at a restaurant like that, because Jeff Ruby's is sort of a date night location. You could tell there were lots of couples and coupley people, and that massive group of people next to me celebrating someone's birthday. So it is a little bit weird being there by yourself, but I'm also kind of proud of myself though that I did go by myself, even though I'm married, because typically my husband and I will split things at steakhouses, and I'll have someone to talk to at the bar. So last night it really caused me to like focus on what I was doing, focus on the food, not just be talking and like horking it down on the side. And the music was lovely. So I'm glad I went. It was a good time. I was texting my husband though while I was there going, this would be more fun if you were here. You know, we need to go to a steakhouse when I get back. But it was a lovely evening and I'm very glad that I went. I'm looking for my jewelry box and I'm realizing you're sitting on top of it. Because we have a very, as usual, we have the Kleenex box, the ice bucket, and then a toilet paper roll as a tripod this morning. So professional. I just get some earrings on, and that's gonna have to be as good as it's gonna be today. It's not even 7 o'clock yet, and I am ready to get downstairs and get on the road. The original plan was to have breakfast at the hotel, but I'm kind of motivated to just get going. You know when you're just ready to leave and your brain has like already checked out? So I think that's what we're gonna do. I have to stop for gas relatively soon after I leave, and I'm not looking forward to that because it's like 28 degrees this morning. But then I have heated seats in my car, and ladies, you know, when it is that time, it's just nice to have like a little heating pad on your lower back. So that's gonna be lovely. But I'm not gonna delay any longer. I'm gonna get going and I will check back in with you in just a bit. All right, I just stopped at Dunkin' Donuts and I got myself a little coffee, and they have a little holiday series going on right now. Let's see if this will focus. They have a little holiday series going on right now and it's so cute. Also, they had a children's book like The Littlest Munchkin or The Munchkin That Could. Anyway, it was all about a little munchkin hole and it was so cute, and I was really tempted to get it for my nieces and nephews, but knowing how these things go, it would have been like $20 and it was like a 10-page book, so not really worth it, but it's cute. And so I get to enjoy that while I have my coffee. I may have also gotten some avocado toast and some egg bites because this morning before I left, I took my supplements, and I don't usually take supplements in the morning, I take them at night. So my stomach is very nauseous right now. I don't know what I was thinking, switching up how I do things before a long car ride, but here we are. I used to get the Dunkin' avocado toast all the time when Sandy and I feel like we used to drive together more long distances, but it's very simple. There is nothing fancy about this. I just stick my finger in it. All right, and with that, I gotta get back on the road. 4.5 hours to go. Sandy recently made me go to Buc-ee's on our trip home from Thanksgiving, and it was absolutely shocking to me. So I just needed a pit stop. I didn't actually need anything at Buc-ee's. I also don't need gas, so I can be quickly on my way. But I just thought I would share a little peek because it is massive inside. I made it home and had a very quick turnaround because we are now going out to lunch, and then we're doing a bit of shopping in the WeHo area of Nashville. So we're just gonna keep powering through today. I am going to need a very large coffee at lunch. We just got back from our little lunch outing and some of the errands that we had to run, and we were only gonna pick up a few things, but here we are. We were really excited because we don't live close to a Trader Joe's, but the lunch spot that we went to, Festive, was in the neighborhood of one. So we made a stop, we picked up all of our essentials, and really Trader Joe's let us just hit one store rather than having to bop around to several different grocery stores to get everything we need. And the only thing, I'm not gonna do a haul, but the only thing I do wanna show you is the Christmas coins. And I think I mentioned this last year, but something about chocolate coins just hit differently around Christmas. And I don't know if it's because they gave these out in our elementary school, like before the whole peanut allergy epidemic, but I love getting chocolate coins at Christmas, and that's my excitement. That's my excitement from the trip to Trader Joe's. I'm gonna put all this away, he's making a fire, and then I think we're just gonna have a cozy night in. Ooh, we are in dire need of charging. Uh-oh. All right, I'll make this very quick. I just got done with my first workout back in the home gym. Felt amazing. It's been a very low-key Sunday, so it felt good to actually get out of the house and do something active. I sat at my desk for a while this afternoon because that paper, it was gonna be the death of me, and I'm just glad that it is now fully formatted. The final edits were made, and I submitted it at like 2:30, 3 o'clock this afternoon, and it feels like the world has been lifted off of my shoulders. It is such a great feeling to have that done. So now we just have the stress of waiting to see what I got. Anyway, I have to run to Kroger, get a few dishes. This is how the day has been. My brain is just puttering out. I have to get a few things at Kroger, including dishwasher pods, there we go, and something for dinner. So I will check back in with you later after this camera has charged. Good morning. It's the next day, and I took the day off of work today because I have a million little things to do, little errands to run, and I was supposed to have a really productive day from the start, but the first 2 hours of my day have been panicking over school because a paper that I wrote that is a research paper got flagged for all kinds of use of AI and plagiarism, and I did not use AI and I did not plagiarize. Like, even the title page of my paper was totally marked for plagiarism because it's APA format where you have to include the university, the teacher's name, the date due. And it said that that was plagiarized on other students' submissions. And I'm like, well, there's 20 odd people in my class. So if they all turned in the paper with the same title page, obviously it's going to be marked for AI. So I don't know if you're in school right now, but I'm very frustrated because when you generally put so much effort into a paper, a research paper, mind you, where you have to be paraphrasing papers and journals and reviews, I don't know how it won't get marked for AI if you've been paraphrasing because it is a research paper. You need to paraphrase the research. Anyway, I am going to go to Target and go to the gym and get myself a coffee and run other errands that I have while I'm out and about. And hopefully by the time I get home, the emails that I've been sending to my professor about this will be answered and all will be well. Now, and I am just changed into my little Betty Boop sweater because I am going to get nice and Christmassy, do some baking, get all the lights on. Nope, not that light switch. Hold on. There we go. Nice and festive. I'm not gonna lie, it's been kind of a stressful day because that whole paper situation, the AI use, I've had no response from my teacher on it, and I've given him all the information, my table that I created in Excel for all the research. So at this point, I'm just like, well, what happens, happens. Anyway, I have some packages that I'm going to show you that just arrived. There's some fun festive things, and then it was Cookie Week in the New York Times this week. So I kept the insert, and I'm going to make mint chocolate chip cookie bars. So actually, I can only show you what's from Lush because the other two are Christmas presents for somebody, and I believe she watches the vlogs. We got a lot of peanuts going on here, but let's see. Oh, this is gonna be an absolute mess. I also thought I was charging my camera and the battery is like dead, so no idea how far we're gonna get here. Oh, I'm not gonna open these yet. Okay. So I got a few different gift sets in the Lush Black Friday sale. And there was a spam website going around where everything was like 70% off, and I fell victim to it. So I've had to change a few of my credit cards because Lush got me. So I got a couple things for myself, I got a couple things for gifts for some girlfriends, and then some for me and my husband. Just like the Honeybee, which is just a super soft, like body butter type soap. Those are always great to have on hand. Oh my gosh. Ooh, these boxes didn't look this big on the website. This one, I can't tell you what's in here. But if you go on their website, I bet you can figure it out. And then I love baths, and it's just the time of year, so I, holy cow, bought for me and my husband the big box of all the Christmas bath bombs. Yep. And a big box of peanuts. Oh my god, there's more peanuts. Oh, and my star broke. So yeah, this one just has all these fun bath bombs. I don't know if it's gonna focus on these. The penguin, I'm very excited to try out. Little gingerbread man. Oh, and then there's just a bunch of different, of like, the actual balls with snowflakes on them. We have a lamb dinner at our Rosie wine bar this evening. So I'm gonna try to take some pictures while I'm there. It's gonna be a very close-knit group of people, so I don't think I'll be filming, but I will try to take some video for you, and then maybe this evening when I get home, I might have to break into one of these. Is the insert I was telling you about that was in the Times yesterday, and I love, this is what I'm making, this mint chocolate chip bar right on the front. So it's got the recipe, and the other recipes in this looked really good as well, but I am a sucker for mint chocolate chips, so that is what we're gonna make. started off with the incorrect size pan, but we got it sorted out. The base of the cookie is ready to go in the oven. This will bake for like 25 minutes, and then I can do the topping. Directions say to wait 1 hour from the time the cookies come out of the oven until the time that you start on the topping, but I do not have time for that because I have to change and leave and get to Rosie for the dinner tonight, and I have to leave to do that in about a half hour. So I have 30 minutes to get this chocolate topping done, and I can't look at my computer anymore because I have been back and forth with this professor for the last hour. When was the last time I saw you? I mean, it's how many ways can I justify myself? So frustrating. Anyway, we are getting going with some white chocolate, and that will be, I believe, mixed with peppermint. Is it just white chocolate and peppermint? Olive oil, peppermint, white chocolate, and food coloring. I don't know if you're gonna get to see any of this while it's happening, so I'm just gonna do it, and then I will show you the finished product. Product. It will be neater once I take it out of the tin and actually cut it into the triangular bark-like pieces that it's meant to be consumed in. But for now, I think it looks pretty good. That is where I leave you for this vlog. I think I'm going to try to film tonight, but I can't make any promises. So if I get some little video clips of the lamb dinner, I will tag them on the end of this vlog. I hope that you enjoyed coming along with me to Cincinnati and then doing some Christmassy things here. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you very soon for another video.